All right, Raider Nation, we have our first move of trade deadline, possibly the last for the Raiders. Who knows? Stay tuned. But Jakobi Meyers reportedly heading to the Jacksonville Jaguars in exchange for a 4th and a 6th-round pick. I like the return for the Raiders. Look, they stuck to their guns, and got 2 picks for a guy that was going to walk at the end of the year anyway. You don't get better by getting rid of a guy like Jakobi, but let's be real. They're 2-6. Obviously, things aren't going the way they had hoped. Now, they move forward. They get some draft capital, which they absolutely need. They got to continue to add to this roster. Got to hit on the guys next year because obviously the draft picks so far this year haven't gotten a ton of usage, obviously, outside of Ashton Genty for the most part. And I know Darian Porter got some burn as well. But a lot of guys have been sitting, So, look, now the Raiders moving forward in the receiving corps, Trey Tucker becomes your number 1 receiver. You did just bring in Tyler Lockett. He's obviously got some comfortability there with Geno Smith. They must have liked what they saw from him in that game in order to be able to move on from him as well. So now Tyler probably slots in as the number 2 receiver. And then I think Jack Bech now takes over that Jakobi role for this offense. Played very similar role throughout training camp and all those things. Jack's a guy that does a little bit of everything, plays inside, plays outside. He's a very physical receiver as well. So I think now we're going to see Jack get a ton of more, opportunities. He didn't play a single snap, if I remember right, in this game here against the Jaguars. So now it's going to be good to get Jack out there. Get your 2nd-round pick out there and see what you really have in the guy. Let's see how he's developed. And then obviously now we'll see what happens with Dante Thornton as well, how much work he actually does get. Obviously the development hasn't been there. He was the healthy scratch. But now the Raiders move forward and move on from Jakobi Meyers, getting good return for a guy that was going to walk anyway. I like the move for them. You hate sending a guy like Jakobi out the door. Good dude, good player, but it had to happen. We'll have more for you guys after practice here today. We're catching up with Chip Kelly, also Geno Smith, and as well, we were talking with Patrick Graham, too. That's coming up later this afternoon. But we will have more on the reaction of the trade as well coming up in our podcast on Wednesday to what it means for the Raiders moving forward, too. But just want to get this out there for you guys quick. Take it easy, guys. We'll catch you later.